The Ghanaian Jollof may have prevailed over the Nigerian Jollof as the Black Stars of Ghana again stopped the Super Eagles of Nigeria from qualifying to the CHAN Championship after they stopped the Super Eagles of Nigeria, talking about the global Super Eagle brand, from going to Qatar World Cup. And of course, Commonwealth Game reports getting at this time isn't very good. The game may have come and gone, but of course, one of our athletes is under scrutiny. We'll give you details about that in the course of the show. And there were lots of VAR controversy last weekend in the EPL. We'll be looking at some of those issues and tell you our thoughts on them. And of course, it was a very emotional moment for Serena Williams as she finally bid the sport goodbye. We'll give you some sounds and beats from that one. But first, let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll serve you all the actions. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let's start the show, but let me bring in my strike partner. Kunle Philip makes his return to the program. Kunle, good to have you in the program today.
Yeah, top of the day to you, Brownson. It's great to be here to talk sports.
All right, that's what it is. Now let's start with, when this fixture was made, it's not people to talk about the match and what will happen on the pitch of play. We're busy talking about the jollof, which one has more pepper and which one doesn't. But I think all that have been laid to rest. Now, the Ghanaian national team some months ago stopped the Super Eagles of Nigeria from qualifying to the FIFA World Cup. And again, the same Ghana stopped our team from qualifying to the CHAN tournament. Now, kudos to the home-based lad. They gave their best. 2-0 it ended at home, but of course they already considered 2 goals away from home. They were tied to penalty shootout, but of course penalty could be anyone's game. Yeah,
it could be anyone's game. They were told, there's this adage that says, plan not to fail. When you fail to plan, then you have probably planned to fail. This is a case of what actually happened, transpired as far as the game is concerned. For the Ghanaians, we talked about it last week, they had adequate preparation going into this game. For the Nigerian team, the Amaju Pinnick-led team were busy, talking about the incoming election and all of that, forgetting all the national teams. Bronson, let's not forget, most of the attention is shifted towards the main Super Eagles of Nigeria. That is the only team that gets the best of preparation. Okay, the Super Falcons are also coming up as far as preparation is concerned. But for other national teams, we have a game, and the team list was announced just about 10 days to the game. The Ghanaians were already in camp, and the team traveled to Qatar to play a friendly game, which they lost by 2-1. Going into that game, they had more confidence, they had more exposure than the CHAN Eagles. So I think that played out. Yes, the coach really tried. He did a massive job. The team came back after losing by 2-0 in the first leg. They came back and they got they scored 2 goals to bring the aggregate to 2-2. And then when the penalty came calling, the Ghanaians did what they did to us in the qualifiers for Qatar. So I think for me, we didn't really plan to qualify for the CHAN tournament. It's really a very sad one. It's a sad development. Aspersions. We should not throw vituperations on the players, neither on the coaches. I think all the aspersions, all the criticism should go to the NFF board led by Amaju Pinnick.
And for most Nigerians, the most important thing right now is the elections. People are already clamoring for the removal of Amaju Melvin Pinnick. But of course, what's the point? Election just around the corner, so all those things will be laid to rest soon. But let's talk about some other big things now. Bayelsa Queens have qualified to the CAF Women Champions League. And that would be held in Morocco. I thought that was a very good performance by the Queens.
Yeah, a very good performance by the Queens. On that day, the Black Galaxies of Ghana took the CHAN Eagles out of the CHAN tournament. The Bayelsa Queens, talking about the WAFU Champions League qualifiers, the Bayelsa Queens were taking on Ampen. No, they were that very day. They took on Ampen, the ladies from Ghana, and there was a sweet event because the Chinese Eagles were already out, so the girls took it on the Ghanaians and they pummeled them by 3-0 to qualify for the Champions League that is going to be holding in Morocco. So I think it's a very good one. And on that very day again, in one of the friendly game involving ahead of the the Women's World Cup, the Super Falcons, led by Rashida Ajibade, were losing scandalously to the United States of America. They lost by 4 goals to nothing. But I think the Bayelsa Queens deserve all the kudos because they really brought smiles to the face of Nigerians. Sebastian Flourish, you remember that young lady getting one of the goals, and she was given the most valuable player of that very game. So I think for Bayelsa Queens, the last time we were in the Champions League, we didn't do well. The teams were disappointing, but with the way we've seen Bayelsa Queens play in this tournament, I think that they will go all the way.
Let's see how well that goes as far as women's football is concerned in Africa. All eyes will be on Nigerian teams or team representing Nigeria. Let's see how well they hold that to heart when this tournament kickstarts in earnest. Now, let's talk about Commonwealth Game relay champion Grace Nwokocha has been given a provisional doping ban. Kunle, when I heard this news, it was very sad because, I mean, it's surprising to see that sometimes of this staff, coaching crew and all of that, you know, when an athlete complains to be sick, they still don't understand the kind of medication to administer and they want not to.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems most of the athletes have had in the past. Some of them they take these drugs without even knowing the consequences. But I think that one should know that there are certain drugs that's been listed by World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, that athletes are not meant to take. Athletes, footballers, and others involved in sport are not supposed to take. I think that Grace Nwokocha should have known better. The trainers and those around her should have known. Remember, she anchored the 4x100 meters final in the Commonwealth Games, and she was the part she took was absolutely massive for the Nigerian team, the relay team. So I think it's a very disappointing one. When the news flew in that the Athletics Federation were going to ban Nigeria, they're going to strip the Nigerian team of a gold medal, from the Commonwealth Games, I felt we were wondering who the athlete was, and then the news flew in that it was Grace Nwokocha. It's a very disappointing one. We hope that she's been temporarily suspended as we speak. So
after investigation,
after investigations by the integrity unit, the athletic integrity unit, and World Anti-Doping Agency, we hope that the news the result of all the tests will favor Grace Nwokocha. All
right, let's see how well that goes. But it would be a very sad one if Nigeria has been stripped of that medal. Time definitely will tell. Now let's take a very quick break. When we come back, more stories to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Vincent Enyeama is set to return back to active football. Now, the news broke sometime last week when it was revealed that Vincent Enyeama would be joining one of the home-based teams. Now, most people are predicting Akwa United or what is that team again from Akwa Ibom State? But let's talk about Vincent for a moment. Vincent Enyeama was also involved in the last African Cup of Nations we won in 2013, of course, in loving memory of the coach at the time, Coach Stephen Okechukwu-Kechi, coached the team. And also, Vincent Enyeama was also involved in the dominant era of Enyimba International, where they won a couple of CAF Champions League. Enyeama also went to France, put up a superlative performance, and was at a point one of the most wanted goalkeepers in the world. And of course, he went to Israel, put up a very fine performance, and at some point, some issues with the Super Eagles, he called it quits with the national team. Now, returning to football after almost 8-9 years of retirement seems surprising to most sport-loving Nigerians.
Yeah, he said it's better to, instead of staying at home, to sleep and relax and all of that. He prefers to play football. And, you know, considering the fact that he feels that Akwa United is one of the clubs that he so much adore, considering the fact that it's his own club, that if they need a goalkeeper at this time, probably in the next 4 or 5 months, he'll go back to training and he'll be able to join up with them. Yeah, I know that Vincent Enyeama, one of the greatest ever goalkeepers that Africa ever produced. Remember, even Eduardo Mendy, the Senegalese goalkeeper playing his trade with Chelsea, came out some couple of weeks ago to say that one of the greatest goalkeepers that he adored happens to be Vincent Enyeama because of his impact. I think at some point it was adjourned the most valuable, the best player, the best goalkeeper
in France.
Yeah. So I think that he's got all of that, and he had 101 caps for the Nigerian senior team. So if he's really, if he has what it takes, if he trains and gets back, probably Akwa United. But I feel that at this point in time, the body is not what it used to be. So it's better.
But for goalkeepers, it's different. Now, when you're a midfielder, you're a defender, it's different because you put so much pace, your pace comes to play. For instance, Cristiano Ronaldo is not as fast as what he was 6-5 years ago. And Vincent Enyeama just needs to work on his reflexes. And the rest will be history. I mean, Edwin van der Sar...
He hasn't been playing active football since 2018 when he left Lille Metropole. So I think 2018, 2019, that's 4 years. So he needs to... It's just like talking about Asamoah Gyan.
Asamoah Gyan is an outfit. He's an outfit player. He's an outfit player. You
what
cannot...
I just feel about these legends. Vincent Enyeama is a legend. Asamoah Gyan, the baby jet, is a legend. So these guys have retired. Okay, Asamoah Gyan said he never retired. He was playing for a club side in Ghana, and then he wants to come back. He wasn't playing well. I watched some of his clips, and I feel that, look, this guy is a spent force. Apologies for saying that. He's a spent force. He should relax, go and allow the younger players to take his position. If he goes to the World Cup, he's going to deny another young player, and that's what I feel about Vincent Enyeama. I think that Akwa, he said he's going to play for free. If he's okay, if he's proven to be fit to play, yeah, he can. Since it's not going to be, it's not as if they're going to pay him. He said he's going to play for free.
Oh, all right, playing for free. But man needs to pay some bills. All right. Now, let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. It would be returning this week. And I'm not going to look at some of the fixtures today. But now, something caught my interest in this season's Champions League. We've got some top teams who have had lots of good investment. Now, some of those teams are Manchester City, who has Erling Haaland, who's got 10 goals in just... is it 6-7 games right now? And we've got the likes of Real Madrid. This might be the breakout season for Champions League, where we might have a team that has never won a championship before clinching the title this season. Now, one of such teams are Manchester City, who have at least come so close to winning the title, but no thanks to Chelsea, who defeated them to clinch the title that season. Now, we also have some other exciting teams who have invested money. Now, don't forget, one of the veterans in the Champions League is back. Talking about AC Milan. And of course, can they rekindle that form that made them one of the Europeans' fairest teams? Man, time will tell. This season's Champions League is going to be important. I mean, if you look at Erling Haaland, for instance, he's played 6 games, 10 goals for Manchester City. Now, it looks like for all the time City have failed to win the Champions League, they were missing a point man, and they've got that this season.
I think they've got what it takes. What the missing link in that team has to be the attack and the striker. And one should be glad that they've got Haaland, who has bagged in 10 goals so far in the EPL, like you said. The midfield, they've got anchored by Kevin De Bruyne, has always lived up to billing. The defense also has not been doing badly. So I think when we look at what happened last season between the team and Real Madrid, they dominated that game, but they lacked that cutting edge, which was actually capitalized on by Real Madrid with their experience and all of that. So I think that coming into the UEFA Champions League championship this season, they are almost like the main favorite to win it. They've got the experience. They played in the final before, and they played in the semi-final. They understand the terrain more. So I think it will be very disappointing if they don't end up winning it. And for some more people who just feel that Pep is not, yes, he's always giving a very big budget to secure the services of players, and up till now he has not been able to win.
I feel that way too. As a matter of fact,
the Champions League since he left.
I feel he has been giving so much. Pep has spent about £1.5 billion, and is yet to compensate Man City with the Champions League.
But mind you,
I feel that way.
He's winning the league. He's winning the FA Cup.
You cannot spend such money and not win the Champions League. If he doesn't win the Champions League this season,
the philosophy of the team, the management, what they actually want.
The philosophy of every team is to win titles.
Yeah, he's winning titles. Come on, Bronson.
Has he dominated Europe?
No, he's winning titles. I don't know about that. He has more titles than, I want to repeat it again, he has more titles than
Jose Mourinho. Yeah. Now, as Jose Mourinho spent half in his own, don't forget, Jose Mourinho got into the game before Pep Guardiola. Has he spent half of what Guardiola has spent in his whole career?
He hasn't spent as much as he has done.
Let's move on.
But I think a coach is as good as his last result. And what
let me remind you.
To measure
talking about Europe,
the performances of the coaches is by the number of silverwares they get.
All right.
You know, and when you take
let me tell you that Jose Mourinho also dominated Europe last season. He won the Conference League.
That principle
is Europe. He dominated Europe.
Big coaches don't play in the Europa Conference League.
Now let me tell you, Jose Mourinho is the only coach in history of football. In the history of football that won. He has won the Champions League, Europa League. He has won the Conference League. So that settles it.
The Conference League is like playing in. You know, remember when we talk about the principal.
Let Guardiola win. Come on. All right. When most people feel like Man City stands a big chance to win the league this season, there's the Champions League. Let's see how well that goes. Even though I feel otherwise about the team that have spent £1.something billion and are still struggling in Europe, but maybe this season might be the breakout season for them. Now, there are also talks about PSG. They spent so much money, brought in a couple of coaches, but maybe they haven't tried Jose Mourinho yet. It might just be the breakout coach for them.
Jose Mourinho.
That would win the title. All right. At this point, let's move away from the Champions League. I'm just going to leave my fingers crossed and enjoy games this week. Next week, we'll be looking at some analysis and what we think. Let's see how the first round of games would go. Now, the EPL is absolutely buzzing, and of course, it's buzzing with lots of controversy as well. No thanks to VAR. There were lots of calls by the referee that were being questioned by pundits and, of course, some sport-loving fans across Great Britain. Now, Arsenal, the decision against Arsenal in the game between Arsenal versus Manchester United is still generating lots of controversy. Was that a free kick? Was Eriksen, that tackle against Eriksen, did it deserve to have been called back for free kick, Kunle?
I think it's not a foul. Yes, I think it's not a foul. The referee actually got it wrong. The VAR got it wrong. If we're talking about VAR, I think it has to do with the monitor that we have there. Video assistant.
You think it's too small?
Yeah, no. It's not. It's the referee.
Yeah.
They are the ones that are culpable because the monitor is there for them to check. And they check and at times you question, and then
you come back and make some decisions.
The decisions. I think I'm telling you that this thing has been happening for I think since the start of the EPL this season. It's been absolutely disappointing. The tackle on Eriksen was a fair one. There was no foul, and probably if Martinelli go had counted, I think that it might just have been so difficult for Manchester United to come back. Probably we might have, but the result might have been the way it is. But then fairness should be put into consideration. That wasn't a foul, and the same thing is almost happening. I remember the game involving Arsenal and Aston Villa. The goal scored by Aston Villa was a foul. The player went in front of the goalkeeper and he was covering him. At the end of the day, the corner kick came in and it went in. The VAR went to check and the referee saw the infringement.
They're talking about talking about inconsistencies.
Inconsistency. I think you'll be the person. I wonder whether these guys really understands. They have the wide knowledge of the round leather game, because some of these things we look at it, we check at the same time, and they come out and tell you that is not an offense, and they give disappointing responses to some of these decisions. Now,
Kule, if you think that was something, let's talk about what happened at Stamford Bridge, the game involving Chelsea versus West Ham United. I mean, that goal, disallowing that goal for me, I watched it time and time over and over again, and I found it very difficult to understand the referee's decision to have cancelled that goal.
Yeah, another very disappointing and inconsistent decision made by the referees and the VAR and all of that. There was no offense, there was no infringement on Eduardo Mendy, and that the VAR checked the referee checked the VAR again and said, and I think what really disappointed me, I felt very disappointed in Eduardo Mendy. I thought, yes, he's a top-class goalkeeper, and the manner in which he went down and then pretended as if, yes, he had been thoroughly injured, leaves so much to be desired. I think the referee association really needs to go back and, come up with new, fresh ideas. What we're saying right now is bringing the English Premier League to a disrepute. When you see such decisions, the teams, the management are feeling hard done on some of these decisions. The reason why,
in my opinion, I'm thinking like the players are now looking for a way to beat VAR. VAR was supposed to check these players, but the players are now smarter than VAR, so they're not beating VAR.
When you have the opportunity, why was VAR brought into existence? To check some of the decisions in the time past before the VAR came. These teams, some of these decisions that are taken, the referees don't have the opportunity to check.
But now they check as the still went on.
And you begin to wonder.
All right, let me even take you to what happened in the game involving Newcastle. And then, as if that's not enough, because of time, let's talk about this one together. Everton, Liverpool, we saw another VAR controversy in those games. Now, Newcastle United also have their incidents. Now, how can this be really monitored? Because it looks like the referees really have their work cut out for the season.
The bottom line is that the referees, when they're going to check the VAR, I think they should go along with the assistant so that both can deliberate and of course come up with a good decision.
I must tell you that that kind of issue, that scenario will always slow down the pace of the game. If they look at the screen,
it's better to slow down the pace of the game.
If you look at the screen and you cannot make a decision,
because
and you need to consult again,
when you check the officials,
it will slow down the pace of the game, and it will be good for football.
Yeah,
I must tell you. All right, at this point, let's take a quick break again. When we come back, I'll be serving you the last lap of the program. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, it was a very emotional moment for Serena Williams as she kissed the sport goodbye last week. Even the press conference, she could barely talk without, expressing so much emotions. And she said she tried to give her all to see if she can get just one more Grand Slam to record, to equal Margaret Court's record, but that was never to be. But it's still something to smile about. She's the second highest winning Grand Slam tennis player in tennis history. So I think that's something to really relax about. And Serena Williams, I must say that in the few years I grew up to watch her, she was always a delight to watch.
Yeah, always a delight to watch, and it was an emotional farewell. She was shedding tears, and then the manner in which the interview was conducted was really worth while. It was really very interesting. She talked about those that have actually supported her. Remember that some of the great sporting personalities actually came to watch that third round and loss which she suffered. And then she said that she had to thank her mom, the dad, and also talked about Venus, her elder sister, that if not for Venus, some of the achievements she made, she wouldn't have been able to make them. And then she said, look, it's difficult for her to say she's
retiring from the sport.
Yeah, she said she's evolving from the sport, and it was really a very interesting one. Like you said, she's the second most successful tennis player ever in both male and female category. Even the likes of Nadal and Djokovic, they don't have as much Grand Slam titles as she does. So I think for Serena, she will always be remembered. And then just the way Margaret Scott's name is mentioned all the time when you talk about tennis, her name will also be mentioned everywhere. That's
what it is. But for me, I would have loved if she had at least equaled that record. But I mean, the sport sometimes would bring us to that break point. Olakune Philip, thank you so much for being on the program today.
Always my pleasure to be
here. All right, and of course, let me just congratulate your team. Arsenal, you guys are doing well.
We're doing well.
Even though you guys were spanked by United last weekend. But, you know...
Like you also admitted, we played better than United, but United were...
This thing happens in football.
They did the playing and they did the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, that's what football is about. It's about scoring goals, not playing. All right, with that, it's my final whistle on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen. And of course, I must say thank you to all those that have been sending us email. We enjoy reading your emails. Keep them coming, and it's highly appreciated. Now, also go to our YouTube channel. It's Sport Pizza. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Vincent Enyeama. Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again next week, please stay safe.